Hey friends, so I had quite a few of you ask me to make a tutorial on how to or how I make my bows. I'm not entirely sure that there is a correct way or a wrong way to make bows. I've sort of just learned as I went. I apologize, one, for the bad quality of the video. This is actually my first time using my webcam on my laptop, and which I've had this laptop for almost a year. So I didn't realize that the quality was quite so shoddy, but yeah, hopefully. My mom was originally going to record it for me, but she's currently under the weather. So I decided to do it with the laptop instead, so please bear with me. Also, I apologize for the mess that you see all over there. At the very last minute, I literally threw sacks and basically black garbage bags, sorry, that's my dog crying, over presents so that should family and friends be watching, they won't know what they're getting. But yeah, here we go. So this present, quick story on the wrapping paper. Basically, it is not the best color, and we have tons of it. So I decided on this particular present, for these wonderful individuals, I decided to use it, and I'm gonna make them an awesome bow to hopefully so hopefully they can overlook the wrapping. The ribbon I'm going to use is this one. I'm not sure how well you can see it. It's got a bunch of different holiday, Christmassy type of words. Also, I am a big fan of Costco and Sam's Club ribbon for the fact that, I mean, look how much ribbon is on a spool, and I've already used probably like a good inch's worth of ribbon, an inch deep. So, yeah, Costco and Sam's Club, they last forever. It's fantastic. So, to start off, first off, the great thing about this ribbon is it's so wide, because this paper actually wasn't long enough to cover the entire box, so there's a little bit of lip there. Most of it is taped down, but in case anyone is like me and they try to peek in their presents. So this ribbon will actually cover that little blemish on the present. So first off, I am going to wrap the ribbon around the present. Which is a little easier said than done when I'm trying to make it so you guys can see what I'm doing. So then I just try to figure out like how long you want. There we go. So let me adjust that for you, just to see how long you want your ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it about there. Also, when you first cut it, it is not going to look pretty, and that is okay. It'll look pretty in a second. So from there, So from there, we're going to go ahead and knot our ribbon, except for mine's stuck on the box. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and knot the ribbon. And also the words, because I'm a little obsessive about it, I have it facing into the present, if that makes sense. So the majority of the present is over here. I just have the words going on that side. So go ahead and make knots. Hold on, my ends are not even, and that's going to bug me. Okay, back to our knot. I'm actually going to make this one a little loose, and you'll see why in a second, because we're going to need it in a second to come undone. And then I'm going to go ahead and wrap the ribbon around the box the opposite way. And again, have my words facing into the present. And then measure out how much I'm going to want. Again, it's not going to look pretty, but that is okay. So we'll go ahead and knot it. This bow is honestly, the one that I'm showing you right now is honestly one of my favorites, because it is fairly simple and easy. So it's one that I probably use the most. So now we're going to undo the knot from underneath. Let's kind of get it a little even. So go ahead and tighten that one. Do a little finger pressing. Go ahead and tighten that one. And we're going to go ahead and tie the bottom one on top of the top one. And then get it tight. And then this one, a lot of people don't know, but when your friends are complaining that they can't undo your present, just show them that they can pull this one out and slide the other one off. It's a little trick. Amazing, simple. So from there, actually, let me go ahead and move this out of the way for a second. So from there, I'm going to take our ribbon. Oh my goodness, I just noticed like how messy that looks in the background. I apologize. I promise my house is not that messy. It's this room, which is normally my media room / movie room / jazz game watching room, is currently my wrapping room as well. So it's very messy with all wrapping papers and ribbons. So sorry about that. Anyway, back on subject. So I'm going to take our ribbon. I'm going to make a little loop here. Just a nice little circle. And this, I should tell you, is wired ribbon. I'm a big fan of wired ribbon. I know a lot of people aren't, for whatever reasons. I think it's great to work with because your bow could get all smashed and whatnot, and you can just pop it back into shape. So with this, we made our little loop, and because it's not double-sided on the other side, it's just black, we're actually going to fold it underneath our loop there, and you're going to pinch it so that the wire, it's one of the great things about the wire ribbon, is then it won't come as undone should you drop it. From there, we're going to make another loop, only this time much bigger. Not quite that big. Keep going and add bigger and bigger loop. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece. And it's okay if that one's cut ugly because no one's going to see it. So again, our bow will eventually end up looking like that. So now I have the size of my bow. Wire. There have been times where I've used hot glue. When I first started making bows, I would even use staples to staple the ribbon together. But the way that I find the easiest is to use wire. I've actually had this spool for about, probably about 7 or 8 years. And I've only used not even, maybe even just barely half of it. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's not wanting to focus on it, but there's still a ton on there. So it'll last you forever. It is well worth your money. I'm going to cut off a piece. I make it a little long so that I have plenty to work with. And then take my trusty needle nose pliers there and just trim it. And yes, purple is my favorite color, so I do have purple tools. So we're going to stick our ribbon back together like so. Then I find it easiest to kind of bunch it together. Otherwise, I don't know, it just kind of clumps funny. So when you bunch it like that, it kind of looks pretty. And then you just stick your wire through to the back. The great thing about the wire is then you can bend it and make it do, what it is you want it to do. And it will mostly hold for most part. Then you just go ahead and twist it or knot it, whatever you want to do. And then just fluff the bow back up. Like so. And then I leave this little bit of excess wire because you'll see why in a second, but it makes it a little bit easier to attach it to your present. So set that aside for a second. Let's move this. And bring our present back up here. I'm just going to get it at an angle. You can hopefully see it. There we go. Okay. So, I have to tie this a little too tight. Normally I don't tie it so tight just yet. So I'm going to take the wire. I find it easiest if you bend the very tip of the wire, just bend it and make a little loop. I'm not sure if you can see it. So the edge of the wire is actually, or sorry, the end is now like a smooth loop. That way it'll feed through the ribbon a little bit easier. Otherwise it gets caught very easily. So I'm just going to feed it through to there, and then kind of pull them tight. And then this one I actually do tie into one knot just to make sure that the bow actually is going to stay attached to the rest of the present. Then I'm going to take the pliers and trim that little bit of extra wire that we have left. Unfortunately, my pliers are getting a little dull because I've used them so much, or my wire cutters, I should say. So then I am going to tuck the two ends under just so that when someone grabs the bow, they don't get poked with the wire, because I've had that happen and they're not really pleasant when that happens. So now we're going to tie that top one nice and tight to make sure our bow stays on there. Tighten that one back up again. So now everything is nice and tight, but this one is still loose enough that your friends and family can get it off without having to hassle with moving the ribbon over. Now you're going to cut off another piece of your ribbon. I just kind of guesstimated on the size. You're going to take the two ends, put them together so you make a little loop like so. And then I also make it so that the words are facing upright. You're going to feed the two ends underneath your bow, and then you're actually going to feed them through the top loop, and then you're going to feed them through the loop that you just made. I'm going to just keep pulling it tight. Or sorry, feeding it through, and then you're going to pull it tight. And there you have your bow facing this way. Everything's facing into the present. And then back to those not so pretty ends. What I do is I will match these two to make sure that they're the same length. These two to be the same length, and then these two. And I'm not sure I put my scissors at the moment. Oh, okay. So I'm going to match these two. How I'm going to do that actually is I just overlapped them, and then I'm going to fold them, and then I'm going to cut at an angle. And by doing that, then our ends look very nice. And I just continue that through the rest of them. Then from there, Another thing I love about Costco and Sam's Club is literally all um, the name tags that you can get there. They have all sorts. Fun ones for kids. More more mature looking ones, I suppose, for older people. My favorite, the Mickey Mouse. For this present, I have chosen this guy just because I think it blends well with the ribbon. Don't have to worry about matching it to the newspaper, or excuse me, to the wrapping paper, because it's just kind of plain. So this one, because it already came with a little I can't think of it, a little ribbon itself. I'm not sure why it's tied up here, but it is. So I'm going to untie that. Oh, there we go. Okay, so for this one, you can actually tie it anywhere on the ribbon, really. You don't have to tie it on the ribbon. You can just, get the sticky kind and stick it to your present. Do whatever you like with it. I am going to go ahead and just tie it around this little loop that we've created. That way, because this present is actually for my aunt and uncle, and so I know for a fact my aunt is, when they open the present, she's actually going to keep the bow to put on someone else's present and take the credit for it. But whatever, I love her anyway. But this way she can just slip this right off without having to undo the whole ribbon. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish tightening, make sure everything is good and tight on our present, which it is. And then you can leave these like so. There are times that I do. Usually I'll make them shorter. On this one though, I actually wanted to crimp them. So I'm just going to use my fingers to pinch the ribbon. Again, that's another great thing about the wire being in the ribbon, is you can do whatever you want with it. It's kind of cute, right? Just continue that all the way through. Another one that I do very, very often is curling it. Just basically roll it like that. And then when you get to the end, just let it go and then kind of slowly untwist it and pull it at the same time, so that eventually you get something similar to that all the way around. It's very pretty. But for this one, I'm just going to continue with crimping. And voila, there is, hold up. There is your finished product. Not too bad. Like I said, this is honestly one of my more favorite ones. But if you guys like, I know a lot of you wanted the one that I posted the other night. That was a little more complex, so I didn't have time to do it tonight, but I can definitely try to get a video made, hopefully in better quality, within the next couple of days. So yeah, I hope you guys like this, and again, I apologize. This is my first time making a video on this computer, So thanks for bearing with me, and yeah, have a good night.